What's up, YouTube? It's another day with the one and only Billy J. And this is another episode of our Week Late in Dollar short series and our review of American Idol Season 14, Episode 22, 80s Week. And this is where we go down from the top 11 down to the top 9 due to the Idol save being used last week to save Kassim. Like I said, the theme for the week was 80s music, and normally this is my favorite week of Idol because I just love 80s music. And I like the contestants to breathe new life into these great songs. But after this episode, all I can say is disappointed. And for me, poor song choices was a huge factor in why I was personally so disappointed. The first one up was Daniel Seavey, and he sang "You Make My Dreams Come True" by Hall & Oates. Okay, Daniel, where do we start? Performance-wise, he actually did look super comfortable up there on stage. He was dancing around, his outfit was on point, and of course, he looked super cute. And like I said, his outfit was on point, but as far as the singing, not so much. He was, as usual, off pitch, and he couldn't hit the falsetto notes. And once again, his voice was kind of out of control, and that really hurts him. He sure is cute though. Even though I do agree with his song choice, the delivery of that song, not so much. Next up was Quentin Alexander, and he sang "In the Air Tonight" by Phil Collins. Well, the song was already dark and gloomy, so Quentin didn't have to do much as far as the arrangement. He had such great theatricality of this performance. Yeah, there's like fog all over the floor, and he had this crazy outfit that was again on point. For me, it was a perfect song choice and perfect performance, very Quentin-esque. Then it was time for my favorite contestant to perform, Joey Cook. And when I found out that she was going to do Cyndi Lauper, I was so excited. And like Cyndi, Joey Cook is so unusual and quirky. But then I found out what song she was doing, and I'm like, oh God, no. And then this happened. Joey Cook sang "Girls Just Wanna Have Fun" by Cyndi Lauper. Performance-wise, Joey was up there. Her outfit was on point, but her performance-wise, she was up there jumping around and singing, which was totally not her. And because of her jumping around, I think it hurt her vocals a little bit. And then about halfway through the song, the tempo slowed to kind of almost a reggae theme before it sped back up at the end for the chorus. It was dreadful. I'm terribly sorry, Joey. I love you and I love your past performances, except for this one. I honestly think you should have picked songs like "True Colors" or "Time After Time." I think they would have been a lot better for you. And you definitely could have had an Idol moment with those songs. Tiana Jones was up next, and she sang "I Want to Dance with Somebody" by Whitney Houston. This was definitely a better performance than last week. Vocally, Tiana wasn't perfect again. She had trouble in the lower range of the song, but she hit those high notes. And I have to say that Tiana definitely had better dance moves than Whitney. And I really liked the arrangement of the song. It gave the song a newer update. It was almost like a techno house remix of the song. Smiling Nick was next, and he sang "Man in the Mirror" by Michael Jackson. First up, I just want to throw it out there that I absolutely hate this song. But I couldn't find any fault in the performance of this song. Vocally, Nick was on point. I personally am not a big fan of that song, and I totally believe that Nick could have picked a way better song than "Man in the Mirror." He could have sang some Aerosmith or even Bon Jovi. Speaking of Bon Jovi, up next was Jess with her rendition of "You Give Love a Bad Name" by Bon Jovi. This song and performance brought out the punk rocker Jax. And I'm still a little bit torn about this performance. And this was the performance that I had to watch over and over again. And I agree with the judges. I absolutely love the piano portion of the song at the beginning and then at the very end. The hard rock middle portion of the song, Jax's voice seemed a little strained when she was trying to sing those notes, but it also kind of fit the arrangement. And I wish she had kept the arrangement of the song with just her and the piano the entire time. Because during the hard rock portion of the song, she seemed to have been swallowed up by the music. And for Jax, I wish she would have picked a different song or artist. I wish she would have picked like Pat Benatar or Joan Jett or even Roxette and put a Jax spin on one of their songs. The beautiful Clark Beckham was next, and he sang Every Breath You Take by The Police. It's kind of ironic such a stalker type song was sung by a band called The Police. Anyway, I have no criticism for this performance. And no, I don't have my Clark Beckham blinders on. But I honestly felt that this was the perfect song choice for Clark. He was behind the piano and he sang it exquisitely. Definitely the performance of the night. And with that performance, I feel he launched himself as a front runner. And I give this performance a standing ovation. Kassim Middleton was next. The performer that the judges quickly used the judges' save on last week was singing Addicted to Love by Robert Palmer. I just want to throw it out there that I feel Kassim is the best performer of the season. Definitely not the best singer, but definitely the best performer. And I feel that his performance this week was very lackluster. His voice was pitchy, and I feel he chose the wrong song. I honestly expected that Kassim was going to do the Michael Jackson song. You know, he could have sang Thriller or Beat It or any other Michael Jackson song back in the 80s, but definitely not Man in the Mirror. Get that out of the books. And I don't know what the judges are hearing, but like I said, I felt he was pitchy, but the judges loved it. And I love moving around, performing Kassim. I don't want to see tethered Kassim anymore. And also, I think Kassim is actually still chasing that Uptown Funk performance, because he hasn't had a performance quite like that since. And you saw how great he was up there dancing and performing and singing. And now you get tethered Kassim. All thanks to Harry wanting to see Kassim settle down. And now we're left to the bottom three. And that left Rayvon, Maddie, and Adana. And due to the save being used last week, that means 2 people are going home. And out of those 3, the contestant to stay was Rayvon Owen. And Rayvon sang Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears. For me, this was a terrible song choice. And I agree with Harry 100%. I don't want to hear Rayvon's falsetto anymore. And I still don't know who Rayvon is as an artist. It was especially tough for me to pick my bottom 2 this week. Not that all the performances were so great that it was so hard to pick the bottom, but because there are so many bad performances, in my opinion, and bad song choices, that it's a toss-up as far as who gets to go home. So my bottom 2 are Daniel and Joey. For Daniel, I feel bad for constantly picking on this poor kid, and even the judges, they're like, oh, it's Daniel, and yeah, they struggle to find things to say to him. But I actually do feel that Daniel is improving from week to week. You know, he definitely improved from last week, but unfortunately, I don't think he's ready for prime time. And I've said it all along, I don't think he should have, made it past Hollywood week, because he definitely wasn't ready, didn't have his voice under control, but he got through because he was so cute. But he does have talent, he does have a voice, but it's still out of control because he's going through puberty and everything and doesn't have it quite under control. And for Joey, this was your worst performance. And I honestly hope that there are enough Kiwis out there to keep voting you in, because you are great. You just had a little stumble, and like I said, I really wish Joey would have done True Colors or Time After Time. Anyway, that's my thoughts on this episode. What are your thoughts? Who do you think should be sent home next week? And next week they're doing songs by Kelly Clarkson. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, leave a comment down below. And remember, peace, love, unity, respect. Peace out, guys.